All right, and we're back with another edition of the Scotty Knows Show. This week's guest is Dom Smith. Dom, welcome to the show.
Thanks, man. Good to be here. It's an
All
honor
right.
to show.
So, you and I know each other through a one of my former podcast guests, Travis Adler. We had some legendary times at a little house called the 223, did we not?
Yes, absolutely. How could you forget? That was big pretty much my college experience in a nutshell. That was a lot of fun.
Yep. So, you're the now counting Chris, yourself, Wyatt with his frozen face.
Yeah.
And
My internet connection holds up better than that guy's, huh?
Yeah, it does. And also, this is now 4 people of the was there 6 people in that house?
I don't know. There's a lot of extended roommates out there,
including myself.
Yeah, anybody that wanted to crash there, they were more than welcome. You were definitely one of them. Our guy JC was one of them.
Yep.
We permanently put Hagen in our basement, threw up some blanket walls, and made him a roommate. So yeah, it was really come one, come all type of atmosphere, really.
I was there for probably a solid 3-month stretch because I just came over, left my PlayStation 4 there, and just left. Never left.
Moved in. It was awesome. That couch is basically yours in the living room. If it was a Tempur-Pedic, that just fit you really well.
Mm-hmm.
And we could just count on you in the mornings, waking up. We'd be playing video games or, start drinking, one of the two, and you would
your
little nap, and you'd either go get some Burger King and come back and start partying with us, or
some parties.
Sleep.
Yeah.
You were a trooper.
So we're going to get into the show. The big story of the day, probably of the week, is the name, image, and likeness deals for college athletes. They're now starting to be able to be sponsored by people. Barstool Sports is sponsoring a lot of athletes that they really have no idea what they're doing. That's not my words. That's Dave Portnoy's words. But what are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, that sounds like just a brand thing. That's just a money hungry thing. But I mean, good for them if they can pull it off. Honestly, I didn't really know about it until Wyatt actually mentioned it the other day that I was all going down. And my thoughts on it are basically it's smart for NCAA to change something. You got to stay competitive with the G League and other leagues that are going to be paying these young players. So should be interesting. I don't know what the cap is for recruits or anything like that. Maybe SDSU beats out Kentucky for $1 million, grabs the number 1 recruit. That'd be pretty cool. But yeah, it should be interesting to see how that plays out. That's for sure.
One thing that crossed my mind today is what athletes from back in the day could have definitely cashed in on this. Nate Wolters is the first one that comes to mind.
For sure.
He would have definitely had a Cubbies deal by far.
A Cubbies sponsorship for sure.
Yeah.
Maybe the nine would have jumped on that for pretty quick. Yeah, I don't know. Just from SDSU guys, are you talking, or
just anywhere? I mean,
Zion Williamson.
Zion, yeah.
Me being the Duke fan that I am, obviously there's a lot of talent that goes through there, but Zion would have got probably the biggest bag out of all of them that I can think of. But there's tons of recruits that are highly coveted in that area, so it's they'd make some pretty good money, obviously. So
I can just imagine Grayson Allen doing something where it's an anti-tripping device or something. That would be hilarious.
Yeah, that would be interesting for sure. Anthony Davis. There's tons of tons of stars now in professional leagues that would have made a ton of money back in the day. So
Yep.
guess we'll see how it plays out, but I think it's the right move to stay competitive with the other leagues for sure.
It also makes you wonder what and Mark Titus from Fox Sports raised this question. What athletes from back in the day, do you think wouldn't have made like a dime at all? And like the first name that came to mind for me was Luke Herringody from Notre Dame.
Yeah, probably would have maybe got a couple coins. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Who are the big busts that we're probably going through?
Oh man, you would probably think somebody from like the fifth guy off the bench on Michigan State wouldn't have gotten anything.
No, I would agree with that. Yeah, no, I can't really think of players right now that probably wouldn't get it. It's interesting just because I don't know how they determine who gets how much money. I mean,
yeah.
when recruiting, they're gonna want to pay them, to go to their program. So if you pay one guy less money than one of his teammates, does he feel like less worthy of, to be on that team? I guess I don't know. I don't know if there's a standard for if you're ranked in the top 10 in high school, recruiting and ESPN, do you get a certain amount of money? I would assume so, but it'll just be a bidding war.
From what I've seen, I mean, there's swimmers are cashing in on this.
Really?
Yeah, swimmers are cashing in on this. Softball players are cashing in on this. Golfers, college golfers are. I mean, everybody is.
Hard, huh? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, good for them, I suppose. I mean, it makes sense. I mean, if they're bringing in that much money to these schools, they deserve, a small chunk, nothing less, if not more, obviously.
Speaking of somebody that brought in a lot of money to his school, Reggie Bush is trying to campaign to get his Heisman back.
I did see that. Then you posted that it's Vince Young's anyway.
Yes, it's Vince Young's award. I don't know what you're talking about, Reggie. I mean, given Texas did get the award that matters.
Well, I also saw that the NCAA doesn't hand out the Heisman regardless.
No, it's a Heisman trophy.
It has nothing to do with who got the Heisman or who keeps the Heisman, really. So that's kind of irrelevant in its sense. But I suppose, I mean, anybody that got in trouble for making money off of, who was the Troy, or is it
the Troy Smith?
No, Troy Guy, is it, from Virginia, the basketball player?
Oh, Kyle Guy.
Yeah. He got in trouble, for something to do with his wedding.
Oh yeah, he had his wedding registry.
Yeah, he couldn't receive wedding gifts. Like, that's, I don't know. I mean, are you going to repay him back? Like, I mean, he got in trouble for that. So, I mean, former athletes that got in trouble for this back in the day, or got rewards revoked or something, it should be interesting to. I'm sure they probably won't go through that with a comb and repay everybody back, but just kind of unfortunate, I suppose.
If you see me swatting at anything, it's fly season. I fucking hate these flies.
Dude, I legit thought I saw a fly in the camera there for a quick second.
Yeah. There's a few of them in here.
Gotta get your fly swatter game up, man.
Well, I've got a fly ribbon above me.
A what? You got
a fly ribbon?
Oh, right above you.
Yeah, right above me. Okay. So
does it do its job?
Hasn't so far.
How many are in there?
None. I just put it up. So
okay, I was gonna say I'd return it.
I know, right? Have you ever been to the College World Series?
Yes, I have actually.
What? Really?
Yes. I don't really remember it just because I was at such a young age. I want to say I was like less than 10 years old, but I did get a little souvenir bat.
Oh my God.
In there. So I honestly couldn't tell you who played or, where we sat or anything like that. But yeah, I did go to Omaha for a little bit and check that out, but it would be cool to go back at some point.
Well, the College World Series ended last night as we're taping this. Mississippi State won. It's their first national championship in anything.
Really?
Yes. Which means that of the Power 5 schools, only 2 teams have never won a national championship in anything. 2 schools. One is Kansas State.
Oh, I thought you were about to say Kansas.
No, Kansas has definitely won.
Okay.
They've won multiple national championships in basketball.
Yeah, not in football.
And then Virginia Tech, which was surprising.
Really? Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So Virginia Tech and Kansas State are the only Power 5 schools not to win a national championship. But I have family down there in Mississippi. People are just going nuts. I love it.
Yeah, good for those guys. That's awesome. Winning the first title is pretty special. So I'm sure they're partying all week and all weekend long. It's a good live weekend for them, that's for sure.
Oh yeah.
Who do they beat? I don't follow college baseball enough.
They beat Vanderbilt, and Vanderbilt has a couple of really good pitchers that you'll definitely be seeing on the major leagues. Kumar Rocker, yes, his name is Kumar. And then Jack Leiter, who is the son of Al Leiter, who played on the Marlins and Mets back in the day.
All right.
Played in a couple World Series, I think.
And they're going to be in the draft this year?
More than likely.
Got it. Cool.
But I feel like it's kind of the controversy has kind of gotten away from it, but NC State got screwed.
It did. I saw that, the whole COVID thing, huh?
Yeah. And supposedly, they tested the players that had gotten vaccinated, which they had never done prior to testing, everybody.
They didn't do it during like the regionals or anything. They just did it during the World Series, huh?
Yeah. They decided just then to start testing those that were vaccinated instead of those that were unvaccinated.
That's unfair, I would say. It's unfortunate for those guys to play that well and make it that far and then have something like that, take them out. But you would have hoped they would have just postponed it or something. But
yeah, and the screwed up, there's a couple screwed up parts of this. They announced at 2 a.m. Eastern time, the College World Series announced that they would not allow NC State to play at 2 a.m.
Wow.
because they thought nobody was awake and would see this, and everybody woke up in the morning and was like, "This is bullshit."
Yeah, so we don't have a game.
Yeah,
so go home.
And then on top of that, right after that, the same the College World Series Twitter account talked about how they were having record crowds, and it's like something there doesn't add up.
Yeah, so you have a record crowd, spreading COVID all around, but the teams can't play, huh?
Yeah. And instead we got Vanderbilt and some guy who whistles the entire game like just a jackass, and I hate him. But
that bothered you, huh?
Yeah. He just whistles all the time.
Yeah, that'd be annoying. That's not necessary.
You're where at in Arizona are you?
I am in Phoenix. I recently just moved back to Phoenix. I was in Tempe. It's like a 20-minute move, but yeah, I'm up in the Phoenix area now. I'm only like 10 minutes from downtown, just north of that. But it's about to get pretty crazy here come NBA Finals time, man.
I was gonna say, how are you feeling?
I love it. I love it. I watched last night. I'm glad it wasn't even close. It's talk about teams that haven't won it yet. So, or has the Sun won it?
The Suns have been to 2 NBA Finals, once in 1976.
Okay.
That was famous for a triple overtime game. That is insane. I've actually watched that game. It was incredible. It was like game 4 or 5.
Okay.
And then 1993, Charles Barkley led them to the NBA Finals, and they ran into a guy by the name of Michael Jeffrey Jordan, and you can pretty much tell how that went.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, so I'm super excited for these guys. I mean, they've got a great team, good young team, and Chris Paul hopefully will lead them to the promised land. I was gonna try to grab tickets, but prices are jacked up right now, man. Like $700 for a nosebleed.
Jesus.
Like Chris, like behind you, so probably
Chris Paul in his first NBA Finals. It's 16 years in the making.
Yeah.
And he got there by eliminating his former team, which is interesting.
Yeah, what a way to get there.
I know.
Beat the LA Clippers that he's played for a couple of years, and at that court too, and he beat a former teammate in Patrick Beverly, and
Yep.
that was pretty intense when Pat had a kid fit, and
he apologized this morning.
Yeah, on Twitter, whatever that
Yeah.
means. But I mean, he didn't even say anything. Chris Paul didn't even say anything, and just walked by him, and obviously the emotions were high at that point. You were going to lose, and you just got your butt kicked that game, and now you're heading to Cancun. So I'm sure you're not too happy about it, but yeah, cheering for the Suns, and we'll see who they play here in a couple of days, huh?
I was gonna say, who's it looking like right now? I'm not watching the game.
Bucks are playing pretty well right now. I think they might take it. I'm not sure what or how much time is left.
Okay.
I think they're up +10 right now. So
okay.
I think the Suns would match up better against the Atlanta Hawks.
Yeah.
But I'm also kind of cheering for the Bucks. I mean, Giannis is a great player. He's fun to watch. I think he deserves a ring at some point.
Yeah.
But that's if when he comes back. So
it feels like this is Giannis's ring to lose.
Yeah, at this point, seriously. I mean, there's not really anybody that can give him a really good matchup challenge, I feel.
Yeah. Although if you want to look at from a storyline perspective, I mean, I know they're eliminated, but it would have been great to see the Suns play the Nets and see Chris Paul versus Blake Griffin in the NBA Finals.
Yeah, no kidding. That would be kind of a crazy matchup.
Yeah.
They couldn't do it together, so they had to go to different teams and just play in the finals with each other. So, yeah, it should be interesting. I think the Suns are playing pretty well, though. I mean, as hot as it is down here, I think it's seeping into their basketball game too. They're playing pretty well.
I was gonna say, how hot is it down there?
It's been pretty much average right now. This week has been like 108, I would say.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, man. You avoid it. But I mean, a couple of weeks ago it was like 118, 120. So you just try to stay inside. You try to find a nice cool spot. It would suck to be homeless in this time.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's no different than living up in South Dakota and hanging on for the winter. So
true. I mean, I can just jump in the river if I really get too hot.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's just what you're willing to put up with.
Yeah.
For me, I mean, I don't mind the cold, but I'd rather do the heat than negative degree weather. So bring it on, baby.
Some unfortunate news that came across tonight. Mark Richt, who used to coach Georgia and Miami, he was a football coach. He announced that he has Parkinson's. So
no way.
We wish the best to Coach Richt.
It's up to him. That's
also
news they just released that, huh?
Yeah. Like
you got word from Schefter, huh? You got a person
about an hour ago. He tweeted about it.
There's got to be some Scotty bombs. You gotta let out some Scotty bombs,
Oh, we will. We're actually we're considering sponsoring athletes since we can do that now. Apparently,
I like that. You deserve that.
So the world, they wanted Britney Spears to be freed, but instead they got Bill Cosby. Bill Cosby is free. Britney Spears has been denied her dad not being on her conservatorship. This world is just screwed up, man.
It's a little weird right now, huh?
Yeah.
I don't know the whole story. I've dipped a little bit into the Britney thing. I'm not like a diehard Britney Spears fan, so it didn't really interest me. But the story is kind of strange. I don't know what's going on there with her dad and her, but if what the articles seem to be true, she's getting kind of brainwashed. That's a little unfortunate for her, and hopefully she can get out of that somehow. But yeah, Bill Cosby getting released. I don't know.
Yeah.
that happened either. I don't know. I mean, he's only got a little bit left to live, I'm sure, but
Yeah, he's like what, 80?
yeah. I just came out of nowhere. I just found that out like 2 days ago that they said that. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
Uh,
We'll see.
I'll educate you a little bit on the Britney Spears thing. So Britney's dad is like her conservator. He basically controls what she does, you know, where she can perform, controls her money
Does she still perform?
if she wants to, like, but I don't think she wants to as long as her dad gets the money that she earns.
Wow. Yeah, that's
So yeah, even her sister said she wanted, Jamie Lynn Spears, Zoe 101 herself. Even she said she wants their dad to leave Brittany alone.
oh man, that's weird. I don't know why they can't get that figured out. She needs some help or something. There's
Yeah.
got to be some detective work going on down there.
So there's been a few coaching hires in the NBA. First up, I'm gonna change up my order. You're a Celtics fan. How do you feel about Ime Udoka?
I like it. I like the hire. I didn't know too much about him. Until they hired him, I kind of had a familiarity with it that he was an assistant coach for the Nets and then the 76ers and spent some time with the Spurs too under
Yep.
Popovich. So that's always reassuring to have that guidance from such a great NBA coach. Yeah, he seems like he's going to fit the players really well. Sounds like the players had some input with it. So hopefully he can kick them in gear and they can actually make a run for that title. I think there's no reason not to. They got some great players there. So, and his wife's really good looking. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh yeah.
Nia Long.
Neil Long. Oh,
Yeah, let's sign him. So
was she? Correct me if I'm wrong. She was in Friday, right?
maybe. Yeah, I don't know.
Okay. Okay.
Honestly, but
The Ice Cube Chris Tucker movie.
yeah, I know what you're talking about. I don't know if I'm assuming maybe she is, but
Yeah,
just know that
she's fine.
yeah,
She is.
she can definitely be an assistant coach if she wants to.
Mm-hmm.
She can be on.
In charge of recruiting.
Yeah. I'd sign heartbeat. I'd
I
take
feel
the vet
terrible.
minimum. I'd take the vet minimum.
Yeah. It sounds like the Dallas Mavericks are getting the 2011 team back together. They have Jason Kidd as head coach.
Nice.
They have JJ Barea as an assistant.
What?
I believe so. Yeah. And then another assistant supposedly is I forget who their third assistant. I think it's Jason Terry is their
Really?
third assistant,
That is
second
wild.
assistant, and then their special advisor is Dirk.
Yeah,
So
dude, you
it's
gotta have
basically it's basically the 2011 team as the coaching staff.
you gotta have Dirk on the bench. I mean, if you can have
Yeah.
Jason head coach, you better have Dirk. He's pretty much he's pretty much owner at this point. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's pretty interesting. I didn't know JJ Barea was an assistant, but then that's good for those guys. That should be a good team. They got a good group to work around too with Luka. I don't know if Kristaps Porzingis will be there much longer.
Yeah,
So
I don't think so either.
yeah, I don't know. Here, let me turn on the light quick. It's getting dark on me. AZ's sun's going down. There we go.
There you go. But and then lastly, and this feels like it's a bad hire.
Yes, I think I know where you're going with this one.
The Blazers hired Chauncey Billups, and people hate that hire. Chauncey had a like an assault allegation like 20
Right?
years ago that has
Nice.
been brought up.
Yeah.
And it sounds like Damian Lillard isn't a fan of the hire and he may want out.
That would be pretty crazy. I actually did listen to the interview when they hired Chauncey, and it was kind of awkward, to be honest. Like, I didn't really remember him getting in trouble. Obviously, it was in '97, so I kind of just forgot about that. So I did see the headlines on that and was pretty interested. But yeah, I
Former
don't know.
Celtic too.
Former Celtic. Well, I knew his name was brought up quite a bit too in the Celtics search, so I wouldn't have a problem with it. But I'm kind of glad we went with Ime because it's just kind of a unnecessary media attention that you don't want.
Yeah.
I don't think that's a good look. And they said they did their investigation and their research and all that jazz. So we'll see how that plays out. I didn't really know that Damian Lillard didn't like it either.
No, he doesn't. I
So,
don't think so.
yeah, so I don't know. He could be on a way out. I highly doubt they will try to get rid of him. He's one of those players that you really want to try to keep happy as much as possible. So I'd be shocked if he gets traded this soon. They probably want to see, at least a year with Chauncey as a head coach and see how they do. But I think the Blazers got to make a move
Yeah.
regardless. Got to switch something up. They got to get Damian some help. DJ McCollum, I think, might be on the run.
Yeah.
I can see
Makes you wonder if Chauncey is going to have any of his old teammates as his assistants. Can you imagine Rasheed Wallace back in Portland?
that. Yeah, yeah, no kidding. I was gonna say that or Ben Wallace, but I think Ben's a GM for Detroit
Yeah.
or something like that.
Yeah.
So, or who's the
Or Rip Hamilton,
Denver Nuggets? Carmelo Anthony played with him.
Tayshaun Prince.
Sean Prince, yeah. Rip Hamilton would be up there for sure. Yeah, that'll be interesting. I don't know.
I think he was drafted. He might have been drafted by the Timberwolves because I seem to remember him playing for the Timberwolves with Garnett after they let Marbury go, but I could be wrong on that.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
He
If
played for everybody, it seemed like.
he did jump to
Chauncey
the
did.
back. Like, yeah, that is true. Yeah, I'm a big Garnett fan for sure. That's what brought me to the Celtics, honestly. I was a quick T Wolves fan, then he moved, and Bigman will call me out as a bandwagoner, but it's whatever.
Yeah. So do you watch who's your baseball team?
I'll root for the Twins. I don't watch baseball really during the season. It's a
Okay.
long season, so I don't really pay attention as much. But I'll watch it. I mean, on a couple of games throughout it. But yeah, Twins is probably the team that I watch the most. I've been to Boston Red Sox, Fenway Park. I went there, so I naturally just kind of go for those guys when they're playing the Yankees. Definitely not a Yankees fan.
No.
I could say that much. But yeah, Twins, man, they're brutal season so far, so it's tough to watch them.
So things are going from bad to worse for Dodgers pitcher Trevor Bauer. He went from using whatever substances he was using to not being able to be using any of these substances, the spider tack, and now he has an assault charge supposedly.
Yeah, I actually just read an article on that on Bleacher Report. Shout out Bleacher Report. They keep me updated on everything. Yeah, that's an interesting article that they came out with. That is I don't know what if this is PG rated on here, but it is pretty dark with what she was saying.
I love it when somebody brings up what this is rated. I read Kevin Durant's DMs to Michael Rappaport so on the show. So
great game. Okay, sounds
yeah.
good. Yeah, what she stated, I mean, it does sound brutal, but apparently that's kind of how she wanted it. So I don't he was just doing what he was told, and apparently she came back for second. So what do you do there? I don't know. That's a tough position. That seems like it could be on the fence of you didn't marry me and I'm trying to take advantage of you and give me a lot of money, but at the same time, I get it. Can't treat people like that, but yeah, tough.
And no offense to Trevor Bauer, I'm sure he's I mean, I'm sure he's a nice guy if you ever actually talk to him, but he does seem kind of like a dickhead.
Yeah, no, I would agree. And he plays for the Dodgers, so
Yeah.
I can't really support him. And didn't he play for the Indians too?
He played for the Indians, the Reds, and the Dodgers.
Yeah.
And then in his last game with the Indians, he threw the ball out of the stadium.
Really?
Before I think he had either just found out he was going to get traded or something to the Reds.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got a certain personality to him, it seems like. And it's kind of maybe a love-hate. If you love him if he's on your team, but if you're playing against him, you could care less about him. So yeah, it should be interesting. I mean, you hate to see those reports come out on any athletes, but I mean, obviously they got to do the research and make the right call on, what is what. But from my standpoint, that's gonna be tough. I don't know.
I just
Yeah.
saw this before we got on here. Illinois' big star Kofi Coburn. His last name looks like Cockburn. Kofi Coburn is in the transfer portal.
Yes, dude. I saw that too, actually. That's a big
Yeah.
dude. It shouldn't take long for him to find a new home, I would assume.
Well, there's a certain coach that is on his retirement tour that might be able to snatch him up.
Oh, nah. I wish, but I don't think Duke will take him.
I mean, can you imagine Kofi and then like Matthew Hurt on the same team?
Yeah, no.
Oh,
Matt Hurt's no longer a Blue Devil. He's in the draft.
is he?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think we have any more scholarships, but I mean, obviously, if we could squeeze them in there, absolutely. We got some big dogs, but I don't know. Playing time might be tough just because we're so limited right now. That I think a lot of people are going to get minutes, but good prospect. I would assume he goes somewhere to a big school. Kansas could use him. I wouldn't be surprised if Kentucky or he's some schools reaching out to him pretty
like a Florida State maybe.
Yep. TJ Otzelberger might throw a little offer at him to come to State. I don't know.
Where is TJ? Is he UNLV?
No, he's an Iowa State head coach now.
Oh, that's right. He's back home.
Cyclones now.
Oh
the
boy.
Crazy thing is what's that guy's Caleb Grill?
Yeah, Caleb Grill.
Dude, what's up with that? He was an SDSU, commit, and then TJ leaves, goes to UNLV with David Jenkins, and then he decommits, goes to Iowa State. I don't think he played very much.
No.
And then decides to transfer to UNLV to go be, a player for TJ. I think he probably got a lot more minutes there, and then TJ ended up leaving. And so Caleb Grill actually followed him back to Iowa State. Imagine being a teammate at Iowa State and just being like, man, I don't know. It's just one of those situations where it's like, oh, so now you're going to get playing time because of the coach. But when you're here beforehand, you weren't getting it. And you transferred. So we kind of gave up on him. But I don't know. You got to do what you got to do.
Yeah. The Tour de France has started, and it's already under a lot of controversy. Yeah. Somebody had a sign, and they held the sign out during the first stage, and it caused like 152 bike pileup.
No. You know what that reminds me of?
What?
That reminds me of the free hugs for mom.
Oh,
dad.
Yes. That was fantastic. Oh my God.
At the White House, Brookings.
Yeah.
That was, oh man, what a legendary moment. I'm glad everybody was okay in the car wreck, but wow, that was nuts.
Yeah.
We got a lot of visitors.
The sign said something about hooray grandma, grandpa, or something like that. It was in French and German. The lady somehow eluded the French police, and then she's been caught, and she might get 2 years in prison.
What?
Yeah.
What does that have to? Why is that a bad thing? I don't understand.
Well, because she endangered a bunch of people by causing this pile up. because somebody hit her sign and then it caused like a huge wreck. And the Tour de France, they delayed the second stage of the Tour de France because of this.
Grandma,
Grandpa.
fine. You have to stay behind the rope. I told you this. You can't be in the middle of the street. Oh man, wow, that is wild. I had no idea.
Yeah.
Won't follow the Tour de France or cycling 0%, but that's crazy. I didn't know that. Hopefully they lock Granny up for a little bit. She maybe just a slap on the wrist will do. But
well, one more story before I get into my top 5, and then we'll call her good.
Let's do it.
Did you see the Los Angeles Angels game the other night where Dylan Bundy, he's a pitcher for the Angels, and it's so hot outside there in LA, and he's just sweating, just sweat dripping off of his cap, everything, just sweating. And then he goes up to the mound and just projectile vomits all over the mound.
No way.
Yeah.
How did I miss that? What? When did this go down?
Like 3 days ago. He's out of the rotation right now because he might be just sick.
Dehydrated or something, maybe. I don't know.
But he's out of the rotation now. So
was he done that night then? Did they take him out?
Yeah, they took him out almost immediately after.
Wow, that's crazy. Didn't know about that.
Yeah. Can you I've never seen anything like that before in my life.
No. Maybe he was out partying.
That's what people are suggesting.
Yeah, he was maybe a little hungover.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can relate, but not pitching in an MLB game. I don't know about that.
Yeah. So we'll get into my top 5 here. I know you're not that big of a wrestling fan.
Like WWE,
yeah.
Not too much.
But WWE released their top 50 tag teams, and I have issues with it, obviously.
Oh yeah, I'm bad.
They
with you first.
What?
I said they should have checked with you first.
I know. They listed Too Cool at number 49. Too Cool had a guy named Scotty Too Hottie. Scotty Too Hottie has been my nickname for the better part of 20 years, and you ranked that at 49? What the hell is the matter with you?
Trash. Throw it away. And why would you even read beyond that at that point?
I know, right? But and it's that they do it in like a video thing on their Peacock, and
just.
But I decided to rank my top 5 tag teams. Number 1, we have the Dudley Boys. I just love Bubba and Devon. They put people through tables. It didn't matter who you were. If you were an 80-year-old woman, they would put you through a table. They literally did once. I'm not even joking.
That is crazy.
Number 2 is Edge and Christian. They totally reeked of awesomeness. That's their saying, not mine. And on top of that, they popularized the ladder match. They're great. Number 3, Heart Foundation. I need some Canadians in this. It's Canada Day as we're talking.
Nice.
The Heart Foundation, Bret Hart, Jim the Anvil Neidhart. Great, one of the greatest tag teams of the 80s. Speaking of great tag teams of the 80s, their rivals, the British Bulldogs, are number 4.
Okay.
I love Davey Boy Smith. I love Dynamite Kid. They were great. They came to the ring with a bulldog, an English bulldog named Matilda. It was freaking awesome. And then number 5, I met these guys, nicest guys ever, the Hardy Boys.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds familiar.
Mm-hmm.
That was number 5.
Yep. I met them at WrestleMania when I went down there.
That was in Minneapolis, wasn't it?
Dallas.
Okay.
And where is WrestleMania next year?
Vegas.
Dallas.
That was my second.
I might be making a return.
I think you should. I most definitely think you should.
No.
That's your thing, man. You got to stick to it.
I know. Go to WrestleMania whenever it's in Dallas. Go to Jerry World.
Absolutely.
Pay
Absolutely.
pay semester's worth of tuition for a ticket and get on the floor. Basically.
Oh yeah, that'd be intense. I hope they would
Uh,
grab you from the stands and like have you pin somebody. That would be intense. That would instantly become a WWE.
Thank you for saying that.
It's gonna happen.
Later this month in Pierre, actually, there's going to be midget pro wrestling at the Long Branch. They are holding competitions to possibly be a referee.
Wait. Hold on. You're gonna try out to be a referee for a midget WWE battle?
Basically, yeah.
This pay-per-view? This better be pay-per-view.
I don't know if it's streamed, but I'm gonna try and be a referee for this. I just want to get hit by a midget and then turn around and give him the rock bottom. I want to do that.
Oh my god. I hope this happens. Keep me posted on that.
Okay. Yes, that is July 30th at the Long Branch. You have to be 18 or over to go to this show. Yeah, that's actually happening in Pierre.
Wow, that is crazy.
I've got to interview those guys at some point.
That's gonna be from your knees. Those are gonna be done from your knees.
I know I'm gonna tear an ACL trying to get into the ring. It's gonna be nuts.
You should show them your moves.
Oh, the Scotty kick.
Yeah,
hey, that's their height.
Oh man, I don't want to roast you, man. I think you probably need to kick higher than that.
Oh.
That might get to a midget's ACL, Scotty. Unless you've been stretching, and I just don't know about
it. Dude, I've been working out. I mean,
good for you.
Look at that. I mean, yeah. I mean,
yeah. I just remember at the 223, you did it from the dining room table.
Oh yeah, I tried to dive off the
small match, and I totally thought that was the end of the coffee table. I didn't think it was that sturdy, but that thing held up, and that was a great night.
Were you there when Bryce body slammed me?
Probably physically, but mentally maybe not. I don't know.
Okay, because it was after the Tech Nine concert.
Okay, yes, I was there.
So you were there?
Yeah.
Okay. Because he was in the kitchen making tacos. It was after the concert had gotten over. I think I got mad at him because he promised me we would go to the strip club and we never did. And so I jumped on his back to try and choke him out, give him a little sleeper hold while he's cooking food. And he just takes me and whips me over his head onto the ground. I think we woke up Travis because Travis didn't go.
Travis missed out on the Tech Nine concert. That was wild. We took a bus down there.
Mm-hmm.
That was a cool trip.
The Night Rider. I remember the name.
The Night Rider. Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
So, what are your plans for the weekend?
No big plans for the 4th of July. I don't know if fireworks are allowed down here.
Okay.
There has been some fires out east in Mesa, Arizona. With that being said, I do see some fireworks stands, so maybe they're still allowed. I don't know. I will probably go out with some friends. Kayla Vetch, her. She went to
yeah. I do.
Shout out to Kayla. She's got some friends of hers that are going to go out in Scottsdale, so I might join them for drinks. And by drinks, I mean a lot of drinks. And then I don't know. I got Monday off of work, so lots of paid holidays. So
sames.
And then a couple days later, I'm turning 29, buddy.
Jesus Christ, you old man.
I know. A year away from 30.
Although if you do the math, if you're 29, how old am I?
28.
No, dude, I turned 30 this year. I turned 30 in March.
I know, I was just being nice.
Yeah, but
You're not much older than I am.
no. I believe next week our guest is going to be from your neck of the woods. Actually, he's the Rapid City Central girls basketball coach, Alan Bertram. He's going to be on the show.
Really?
Yeah,
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, him and I are boys. He's going to try and hook me up and get Christian Leitner on the show, possibly.
Wow.
Yeah, because Christian and him are friends. You know, they were on. Christian came and helps out Alan with the Sacred Hoops basketball camp
Okay.
all the time. So
Wow, that'd be cool.
That's where the picture from of me and Christian happened. Was that one of those basketball camps?
Yeah. At TS Riggs, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that'd be sweet.
yeah. So
try to get some signed memorabilia from him.
I already have a shirt.
We'll get 2 shirts. I want one.
But you know, stick around for the post show debriefing. I don't know why I love saying that, but I do.
That's
And
right.
thanks
Scott,
for coming up.
I appreciate the invite, man. This has been fun. Keep doing your thing on these videos. They're funny. They bring me joy watching these. And your critique videos are awesome too. Keep being yourself. Keep writing good journals and articles for the Capital Journal. You're killing it. Proud of you.
All right. Thank you.